ETNO pattern board game is inspired by Bulgarian embroidery and ancient symbols. In it, up to 4 players compete to fulfill objectives for colors, symmetry and shapes by collecting and arranging tiles. Create patterns and win the game with good planning, creativity and spatial thinking. In this video, we'll explain the rules and how to get ready for your first game. Give each player a board. We recommend starting with side A, which is easier, especially if it's your first time playing the game. Each board has 3 main areas: the playing field, the storage, and a list of common objectives. Draw a shared objective card and make sure all players can see it throughout the game. Each player must draw a starting tile and place it in the center of their playing field. Players draw 2 cards from each personal objective card type. Choose 1 from each type and return the other 2 cards. Personal objectives remain hidden from the other players until the end of the game. There are various objectives, but they can be grouped into a few main types. Some objectives require that you have at least as many tiles with a certain color as shown on the card. Keep in mind that there could be multiple colors on one tile. For example, we will count this tile as both red and green, and this one as yellow and blue. Other objectives require you to arrange the shown pattern on your field. For these objectives, you can use any colors of your choosing. The third type of objectives is for multiple completions. In other words, you win the points on the card for each set of tiles that corresponds to the objective. These objectives require you to arrange a sequence of tiles with the color from the card. It can be arranged in any direction, but each tile can belong to only one sequence. The next step of the game setup is to put all other tiles in the drawstring pouch and mix them well. It's time to reveal the market. The number of tiles in the market is equal to the number of players plus 2. That means 4 tiles for 2 players, 6 tiles for 4 players. The player with the most colorful clothes is the first to start. On your turn, you may perform the following actions in any order: draw a tile, place tiles with shapes, and activate action tiles. All 3 actions are optional. You may even skip your turn without doing anything. Draw a tile from the market. You can put the chosen tile either in your storage, immediately place shape tiles on your playing field, or immediately activate it if it's an action tile. Fill in the market after each draw. If no one wants to draw from the market, then discard the tiles from the current market and replace them with new ones. Activate action tiles. You can activate an unlimited number of action tiles either from your storage or a tile you just drew. Action tiles are put in the discard pile after they've been played. For example, Theo draws an action tile for swapping a tile from his storage with another player's storage. He activates it and exchanges a tile from his storage with another tile from Bobby's storage. After that, he immediately activates the new tile and chooses one from the discard pile. Placing shape tiles. You can place an unlimited number of shape tiles from your storage and/or a tile you just got from the market onto your playing field. It's not mandatory for tiles to be placed next to each other, but when placed next to other tiles, the colors of at least half of the edges must be the same as at least one of the tiles it's touching. In this case, beige also counts as a color. It is important to note that once you place a tile, it can only be moved using special action tiles like this one, for example, which lets you move a tile or switch the places of 2 tiles from your playing field. Another action tile lets you swap a tile from your playing field with a tile from your storage or the market. You can find all types of action tiles in the rulebook. The last round begins when a player fills in their playing field. Then each of the other players takes one final turn. The game also ends if no one gets to fill in their playing field after the second time you run out of tiles for the market. The player with the most points is the winner of the game. In case of a tie, the player who has filled in their playing field first wins. Final scoring. For the multiple completion objectives, you get the number of points written on the card multiplied by the number of tile sequences that correspond to the objective. Let's look at this example. We count only 3 sequences that fulfill the objective. The other sequences include tiles that have already been counted as part of another completion of the same objective. With the exception of the objectives for multiple completions, all other objectives and the points they give are shown on each board. You get 2 points for at least 3 tiles from at least 3 colors on the playing field. In this case, beige doesn't count as a color. You get 2 more points if you fill in your playing field, and 2 more points for a fulfilled shared objective, as well as for a personal objective for single completion. Now is the time for one of the most interesting and important things in the game: symmetry. There are 2 types of symmetry: horizontal and vertical. There can also be complete, partial or no symmetry depending on tile arrangement. Let's look at some examples. Here, the horizontal symmetry is complete because all the tiles and empty spaces are symmetrical. You get 4 points for complete symmetry. The vertical symmetry is partial because there are tiles with the same shape but different colors. Symmetry is also considered partial if there are empty spaces that are not symmetrical. In other words, you have tiles on one side of the axis and empty spaces on the other side. You get 2 points for a partial symmetry. Let's look at one more example. There is no horizontal symmetry because the tile on the left side is in the central row and its upper part is not symmetrical to its bottom part. There is no vertical symmetry either because the tile on the left side is not symmetrical to the tile on the right side. Keep in mind that you get penalty points if you have more than 4 empty spaces on your playing field at the end of the game. Now you know how to play ETNO pattern board game. And don't forget that beauty lies in symmetry, and symmetry gives you points. You are the creator.